Lovely to see our students, alumni, and educators from different fields of education joining us today. Over the next 1 hour, we will dwell into the importance of foundational stage education. Our goal is to equip you with the knowledge and tools necessary to give our students the best possible start in life. I request Vaibhavi ma'am to introduce the speaker of the day to you. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, so good morning, everyone who are present over here in the session today. And I welcome you all for this, I think, crucial discussion that we need to have on strengthening roots in early learners. I think it is a topic of discussion for all of us now, since I think national education policy also is placing a lot of importance on this education. And I think these are the foundation years of these learners, and it needs to be emphasized from teachers' perspective. And I think the purpose with which we took this session was, I think our students, a lot of students, they do have to deal with these foundation year kids. And at times we do equip them with a lot of, I think, strategies and interventions for the children. But then we are looking at primary children basically and secondary children as well. But this is where our B.Ed students also need a lot of input. And I think even teachers across also look forward to, a lot of discussions on this. So I'm happy to, welcome Isha Thakkar over here today. And I'm also very happy for this fact that she was our student, B.Ed student. So technically she's our alumni and we are proud of her. She has done her master's in economics, and then she decided to pursue her, passion in teaching, where she did B.Ed from Navrashna University. And she was also a gold medalist. So somewhere that passion for teaching was seen in her academics also over here. And she was our first batch of 2 years. So she was basically of 2015 batch. And then after that, she, went to teach in higher secondary 11th and 12th grades for economics. She was also, heading economics over there. And after this, she could also see that, she wanted to do her master's. So she went to Canada. She pursued her master's in teaching and decided to, pursue provincial license for early childhood care education. Because I think she could also see her son growing up, and it was a crucial stage for her and her son, and that's where she got interested into, I think, this domain. So she's right now working as early childhood care educator. And Isha, we look forward to your session for, I think, the learnings that we might all have together today. We will also have Q&A session, but once she completes her, the presentation that she has for all of us. So thank you for, accepting our invite on this short notice. And over to you, Isha. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vaibhavi ma'am. I extend my heartfelt thanks to you and for giving me this wonderful opportunity. I'm so excited to share about my experiences with you all. And I'm also deeply grateful of my professors of my B.Ed program in Navrashna University, who has actually played a very crucial role in my teaching skills. I think I would never have been a good teacher without your guidance and support. So friends, in today's presentation, I'll be giving you a brief overview of how to strengthen the roots of early learners and why is it so important to do so. And I also will share some insights about my experiences here in Canada as I'm working as an early childhood educator here. And I would I'll be also telling you what strategies we apply here in Canada. So looking at early childhood education here in Canada, we have a preschool age, like a preschool age that is before 6 years of age. Our kindergarten starts at 6 years, that is in grade one, kindergarten, and it extends up to 12th grade. So K to 12 is the teaching, like the basic teaching, like if you have done B.Ed or like bachelor's in teaching here, and you have acquired like a teacher's license, then you can teach from K to 12. But before that, like the 0 to 5 years is for ECEs, like early childhood educators. So if you have acquired a provincial license in early childhood educator, then you are allowed to be in the preschool. But as I am an early childhood educator, I cannot teach in kindergarten. So I am just looking at 0 to 5 years of age. And they are very crucial age because most of the brain development is in those years. So starting if, are you able to see my presentation, like the PowerPoint?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna introduce you that why early years, why early years matter. Also connecting it with the NCF 2022, as I'm not in India, but I read about it. And then I found out that whatever we do here is quite similar to the Indian curriculum framework. Then I'll be also connecting the Piaget's model of cognitive development to the early learners and discuss about some goals set up in NEP 2020, understanding the roots in early childhood education and how we follow a routine in early education settings here in Canada. Strategies for strengthening the roots, role of environment in strengthening roots, and communicating with the parents and caregivers, and continuous assessment of the strategies that we take. So in the end, we'll be discussing everything. Like if you have any questions, you can let me know. Okay, so starting with the first thing. Okay, so early years, as I've discussed that in Canada, it's 0 to 5 years of age. And here is that phase where all the foundational skills are developed. So say sensation, oh, sorry. Yeah. So sensation, perception are usually developed before 5 years of age, and memory, decision making, and emotions are also developed, mostly developed before 5 years of age. And then it continues to the later years. And here we see that the significant reasons that we have to be very cautious about the early years is that the most brain development takes place in those years, language and communication takes place in those years, social and emotional skills takes place in those years, formation of habits, self-concept, and if any intervention is to be needed, like for example, if a child is showing some behavioral issues or behavioral problems like ADHD or autism, these are the years where we as educators can intervene and talk to the parents and can help the child and support the child. So these years are very crucial for their future success. And yeah. So as connecting it with to the NCF 2022 for foundational stage, this curriculum framework also states that the brain development in these years are more rapid than any other stage of a person's life. I also attended Dr. Vaibhavi Pandya's workshop on neuroscience and education, and she explained me. She also suggested that she also researched, I would say, that the brain connects many neurons in that age group, 0 to 5 years old, 0 to 5 year old. So basically, it forms the maximum number of connections in that age group. And in the NCF 2022, also it says that over 85% of the individual's brain development occurs by the age of 6, indicating the critical importance of appropriate care and stimulation in the child's early years to promote sustained and healthy brain development and growth. Now, if I connect the Piaget's model of cognitive development, if you see here in this model, there's assimilation, equilibration, new situation, disequilibration, disequilibrium, and accommodation. So the child, here the assimilation means that when the child is acquiring a new information, the child is adding up that information to its existing schema or existing cognitive framework. I would give an example here. So for example, the child is having knowledge about fruits, and that too just maybe apples and oranges. But now, so the child is in equilibration when the child is already knowing about the fruit, apple and oranges. Now there's a new situation in the child's life. There's new information given to the child. Say, we show a tomato. But the child would just know that, okay, tomato, it might be an orange, or it might be a fruit. But we know that it's not a fruit, it's a vegetable. So we as educators or parents will try to say, oh, no, it's a vegetable, not a fruit. So the child here is trying to adjust that information. So now the child is in disequilibrium. And it's trying to, the child is trying to accommodate that information into the existing schema. So the child modifies when we keep on repeating that, no, it's a vegetable, not a fruit. It's a vegetable, not a fruit. The child is modifying their schema and creating a new one that, okay, this tomato is a vegetable. So this assimilation and accommodation keeps on going on in the child's mind whenever we give new information to the child. And this brings in flexibility to assimilate and accommodate. So when this child is able to assimilate and accommodate easily, he or she is more flexible and adapting. So this is actually the foundation for the later years. So if you see that the child is able to think critically and understand increasingly abstract concepts when they grow, because their foundation skills of assimilation and accommodation are stimulated. The same way, they have more adaptability, and they have they can adapt the knowledge and expectations based on new experiences, and they can also navigate diverse and changing environments. Similarly, for the later years, for their social and emotional growth, as the children they are playing around their peers and they are having say consequences, maybe some consequences, and they are solving by themselves, they are accommodating the information in their new and creating a new schema about it. So that's also a foundation for later years, that they can understand social norms and relationships and develop empathy and communication skills. And they can also work collaboratively. So this is very vital for future growth. So the more we stimulate the children, the better their future is, because they are building more and more connection of neurons during that age, 0 to 5 years. Connecting with the NEP, the NEP also has specific goals. So I already developed this PPT according to the foundation, like the developmental goals here in Canada. But when I read about the NEP and NCF 2022, I also saw the same thing, which is mentioned in the NEP 2020. So here, the domains are physical and motor development, cognitive development, socio-emotional, ethical development, cultural and artistic development, development of communication and early language, literacy and numeracy. So talking about the roots of early learners. So these domains are actually the roots of early learners. So these roots need to be stimulated by educators. So roots symbolizes the foundational skills and influences the shape a young child's development and learning. So basically, there are 5 domains that we look into: is the physical, cognitive, language, emotional, and social. These are the 5 domains that the teacher can stimulate through their teaching skills or through their strategies, so that they have more and more connections, more and more neurons connected and developed for their future success. So this is what we follow in my school that I go to. Like I teach in a preschool daycare, and this is what we follow mostly in all classrooms. We have infant toddlers, we have toddlers, and we have preschoolers. So basically the infant toddler group is it can start from birth, but nobody like keeps the kids, a child, like when they're just newborn. But maybe after 6 months or 7 months, they start putting them in daycare because people have to go to work. So 7 months to 1.5 years, they stay in the infant room, and then they move into the toddler room, where they stay up till 2.5 years, or sometimes 3 years. And then in the next classroom, it's like a preschool classroom that it's 3 to 5 years. So it's like a multi-age classrooms for all three classrooms. And we follow the same schedule, mostly the same schedules and the same themes. So every week we have a theme, and the theme is like it can be anything. It can be shapes, it can be colors. Like right now it's going, a literacy month is going on for us. So we just take some books, the authors, and then do for the entire week. So in the beginning, when the children come, we have free play. So we have some shelf activities and that the children can use, or the sensory bins that the children can use during free play. And according to theme, we have art and sensory in the morning. So art is also related to the theme, and the sensory bin is also related to the theme. So for example, say the theme is sharks. So we have art related to maybe um say shark structure, like the structure of the shark. Say they have different kind of fins, they have teeth. So art can be related to that, and then sensory also can be just with the sharks. The bin can be filled up with sharks and some other stuff. You can get many other resources from Pinterest, or online for art and sensory. And after that, we have circle time. This is a very important part of our day. And in this circle time, for 3 to 5 age group, we usually have information. Like we give in more information. We also do some stories, but for 3 to 5 age group, we usually have more of information and some games relating to the theme, or and we also have like a morning welcome song or something like that. And for infant toddlers, we usually have songs and stories, felt stories. Then we have snack time, and then outdoor play is mandatory for an hour. We could also go for a walk during this time, a nature walk or something. Um, but it's mandatory, like the children have to go out for 1 hour at least. Then we have lunchtime, nap time, and evening snack, and then free play. Again, like the same thing which we do it in the morning. So the outside play, sometimes the weather is harsh. Like if it's smoky, because we have wildfires here. So if it's smoky, we don't go outside, but we just go to the gym or anything, just an indoor space. So, and if it's snowy also, like if it's heavy snow, then we just stay inside. Yeah, so this is our schedule. And talking about the roots of early learners, the first root is the physical development. So, talking about the infant toddlers, we have music and movement. Say you can have action songs like an animal movement in the classroom. Also for infant toddlers, it's very important to have them having a very safe environment where they can crawl, walk, and roll without fear. And we also use some climbers, say Pickler Triangle. It's like a Montessori based climber. We can have sandbox. We can play with the balls, tunnels, obstacles, and water play. So in the summertime, usually we have water play outside. And for infant toddlers, fine motor skills. So during the art and sensory, we use different materials so that they are acquainted with the sensory of different materials. Like it can be a foil paper, like foil paper crushed, and then paint, or leaf painting, or sponges, or and also we also have, like in the sensory bins, we can have some grasping activities, or picking activities, or transferring activities, tearing paper and pasting it, finger painting, and Play-Doh. And shelf activities, we change it every week, not according to the theme, but like we can do one shelf according to a theme, and other shelves just like any Montessori activity. But we always make sure that the child is, it's a bit unstructured, but we make sure that the child is using it in a structured manner. So for example, the child is taking some activity from the shelf. So the child has to sit on the carpet on this nearby the shelf, use it, and put it back. So that idea is like building a habit of cleaning up after you use. Um, then we have and then we have for preschoolers, the physical development is like we can do movement songs, action songs like playing hide and seek, action games like playing hide and seek, or I Spy, or say having a dance party, um, animal walks, some yoga poses, and nature walks or scavenger hunt. So for example, if it's a theme of bugs and insects, so we just take them to a nature walk and we have a worksheet in their hands, and they would tick what insects they saw or what worms they saw during that nature walk. So my son had done that, like when he was like he's in the same preschool, and his teacher had done that activity, and they had lots of fun. Then they can also play with the balls, obstacles, tunnels, the same as the preschoolers. They can play hopscotch, climbers, and for fine motor activities for preschoolers, it's like cutting, pasting, tracing, chalk and board, shelf activities, beading, like Play-Doh. The shelf activities can be introducing shapes, numbers, colors also, and words. Yeah, this is, yeah, so cognitive activities. So shelf activities can be Montessori based, like shapes, colors, numbers, alphabets, scooping, pouring, matching, creating sensory bins using different textures such as rice, slime, cotton, water, jelly, shaving foam, and much more. You can also involve the kids to make sensory bins. Like we usually involve the kids to make slime or Play-Doh. So that's also fun for them, and that way they're learning also different textures and different colors. Circle time, we have stories and songs according to themes, and felt stories. And for preschoolers, the circle time, as I discussed, it's more elaborated with information sharing also according to themes. So felt stories is a very good idea for say the preschoolers also. You can show them stories on the felt board using it's very, very simple. You can make your own stories. So for example, say Three Little Pigs. You can cut, we have felt paper, and you can just cut the characters and make a felt board, and you can just stick it and just communicate, like don't show the video or anything. Instead, you can just talk to them and you can tell the story while pasting the while putting the felt on the felt board. Then we have cognitive skills, language development is reading stories and prompting to point. This is a very important stage where the child is able to point. So it starts from when they are 13 or 14 months old, they start pointing to things. That's a very important stage for language development. And if the child is not pointing until the age of 2, then there should be some interventions. Maybe the child is having some behavioral problems. So as an educator, we should look into all these things also, so that we can tell the parents about any early intervention which is needed. We have, for language development, circle time, songs and stories. Interact with them as much as possible. Ask them questions. Like for say maybe in the first part of the circle time, I said that we do a good morning, like a welcome song or something. We also talk about the weather. Ask them, what weather is it? Like, keep on probing so that they can have more and more information. For infant, toddlers, and preschoolers, it's very important to have a routine consistency. They like routines, and if the routine is disrupted, they have hard time in transitioning. So it's very important to have a routine consistency for their easy development and easy learning. Provide words to their actions or feelings, acknowledge their feelings. Here I would like to give an example. For example, say a child is crying and like he has bumped into maybe a chair or the wall, and he's got a bruise here on his head and he's crying. Acknowledge their feelings, like, oh, did you fall down or did you bonk your head? I know did it scare you? I do understand that it scared you, or I do understand that you are upset or you are hurt. So acknowledging their feelings gives them a safe space, like they are in a safe space and they can communicate to you easily. If you just say, oh, okay, you're all good, let's get up, and you're okay, you're fine, let's get back to the activity or something like that, maybe the child might not feel that, oh, my hurt or my sadness is not acknowledged, or my feelings are not acknowledged. So we should be acknowledging their feelings so that they feel safe and they can communicate to you easily. Use positive reinforcement and positive language instead of saying no. Say, for example, okay, say a child is just banging the car on a small toy car on the floor, and it's making a lot of noise. You can just use that instead of saying no, like don't bang, or no banging the car on the floor. You can just say positively, you can say, oh, the car is for rolling on the floor. Let's roll it on the floor. Something like that. So anything which you think that, whatever you think that something is not right, or don't say no, give a positive language to it and positive direction to it. So the child is not thinking that, oh, this is, the child doesn't understand no. Like first 5 years, or say first 3 years, the child doesn't understand the word no or stop. We can only guide them in a positive way, so that it's easy for us also to have discipline in the class, and it's for the child also, they have positive language around them so that they learn positive language. So for infants and toddlers, having consistency and repetition is the important thing for language development. And for example, if a child is saying apple, we could give more information to the apple, say it's a red apple, or it's cream white from inside and red from outside, something like that. So giving more details to the child when he or she is talking in words or sentences, we can give the child more information and more words from our side, so that they can have more information in their mind and they can assimilate and accommodate and adjust their schemas. So this is some example of using positive language. Say stop hitting, we can always say keep your hands to yourself or keep your hands to your body. Say don't say that, please choose another word. Or quit whining or crying, say use your words. So if the child is able to use their words, then you can say please use your words. Otherwise you can also I don't know sign languages, but there are some sign languages also if the child is not able to speak or use words, they could use their sign language and you can talk to them in sign language also. I know a few sign language say if the child wants something more, then you do this more. Something like that. I can't hear you. You can say, please speak louder or more clearly. Another example in the classroom is like when the child is running around and you want them to stop running. Instead of saying stop running, you can use, please use walking feet. And here it is very important to go to their level and talk. If you are shouting or screaming from one end to other and saying, oh, so-and-so person, please stop doing this, or no, don't do this, they are not going to listen to you. You have to go to their level and kneel down and talk to them. So these are some examples. Okay. For social and emotional development, acknowledging their feelings and emotions by giving them words, say sad, happy, angry, excited, and channelize them into the positive direction. Building self-confidence by letting them make their own decisions on what they want to do. Sometimes the preschoolers, they have issues with their peers, they encounter some fights or anything. Let them solve it by themselves. And if they are not solved by themselves, you can intervene and you can talk to them. Encourage role playing, because that's how the language also develops, and social emotional development also takes place in role playing. Say, for example, a child is hurt and they need a band-aid. So maybe become a doctor or like role playing like a doctor or a nurse and applying a band-aid. So that also connects to empathy. Celebrate and appreciate achievements, even if they're small. Children they become so happy when they do even the smallest things. For us, it's like a very small thing, but for them, it's a very big thing. I will give you an example. It just happened yesterday at my school, and there was this child who is getting potty trained, and he wanted to sit on the toilet, and he went for the first time on the toilet, and he peed on the toilet. So he was so happy with that achievement that he peed on the toilet, and he was like jumping in joy. So you should appreciate those moments that, oh, you did a very good job on, instead of saying good boy and good girl, you praise that achievement the child has done. So for example, say you did a good job for peeing on the potty, or you did a good job helping your friends. Instead of saying good boy and good girl, you should specify on the things that they have done. To calm their body when they're sad, using breathing techniques. So if sometimes a child is, sometimes if they are very sad or having any meltdowns, they are not going to listen to you when you are going to talk if they're crying. So you have to calm their body down first. So you can just use simple breathing techniques like breathe in, breathe out, or maybe say blow. You have a candle in your hand and you can blow. So maybe, you can use this like a flower, and you can smell the flower and blow the candle. So like that. So it's like a breathing technique, because they don't understand about breathing in and breathing out. So you can help them doing this. Maybe you have a flower in the hand, you can smell it, so it breathes in, they breathe in, and then blow out by blowing the candle. So give them space if they are not ready to listen. When they calm down, talk to them about the incident. As I told you that they are not going to listen if they are crying. They can't hear you when they are crying out loud. So just give them some space and then they will just calm down in a few minutes. And then you can talk to them about the incident, what happened. So model social behavior such as taking turns, sharing, greeting, and using please and thank you. So we as educators, we also need to follow this to have the children to also learn from you. And make them sit in groups for snack at lunchtimes. That is social development takes place when you are, so you can use a strategy to make them sit in groups, in small groups, so that they can talk to them, have build bonding with their friends during lunchtime. And you can split, you can change the groups, you can change the groups time by time. Encourage communication with peers. For example, a child wants a toy from the other child. So you ask the child to go and ask them for the toy. Don't help them directly, but ask them to ask the other child for the toy. Role of environment. This is a very important thing because if the child is not feeling safe, there might be discrepancies in their development and there might be discrepancies in their neuron building in their brain, and they might have negative connection. So safe environment where the child feels safe to explore, communicate, socialize, bond, and play. It's very important for, as a teacher, you should be able to bond and the child should feel a safe spot, like a safe space while talking to you. Encouragement of independence. This is a very important thing here, like in Canada. Like I think from 2 years of age, they're like totally independent by wearing their shoes and socks. I am also astonished to see that. But yes, this is the thing here. They encourage independence. So to take off and wearing clothes, say wash hands, going to the bathroom, and all the small things that they can do, just let them do and not help them. You can say, if you need help, you can ask me, but let them do at first. And if they need help, they will ask you for help. Age appropriate art and sensory materials so that they don't have a choking hazard. So we say for infants, we don't use say pulses like chickpeas or anything because they are chokeable hazards, or balloons. So check for any hazards or chokeable toys for infants or toddlers. Maintain hygiene, sanitize the toys regularly, because in preschools, preschoolers 0 to 5 years of age, they have the tendency to get all the diseases from the preschool. So sanitize the toys regularly. Bonding with all the educators in the classroom. Here in the educators part, why I said bonding with all the educators. So here we have 1:4 ratio in infant and toddler classrooms. So one teacher can handle 4 kids. And it's like a licensing thing. So we cannot go over ratio. So it has to be 1:4 in infant toddlers. And in 3 to 5 years of age, we have 1:8. So if the class is of 16 kids, then we have 2 teachers in the class for preschoolers. So that's why I have mentioned bonding with all the teachers in the classroom is important. Positive reinforcement and positive language that I already discussed before. Okay. Communicating with the parents and caregivers. This is very important. So whatever the child is doing in the class, maybe it can be any positive thing that the child has done, or any out of the box thing that the child has done, inform the parents about it. They would feel really happy about it, or any changes or any development that has taken place for the child. So, for example, for this child that I was talking about, that happened yesterday, he peed on the potty first time in the school. So we told the parents, and they were so happy. So always share all the information to the parents so that they also know what is going on. Not only sharing information, but also asking about their background, like what do they do, or what do the kids do when they go home, or what do they do on the weekend. Getting information from parents is also very important so that we know that what kind of background the child is coming from. Here, I would like to give an example. There's a child in our class. Um the mother is suffering from anxiety or depression, so she just goes away from home, and it's only grandma who is taking care of the kids sometimes. And whenever grandma is dropping off the child is so sad. Like, the child is always crying and very fussy in everything. But when it's the mom who is mom dropping off, the child is very happy. So here's the difference. So if you know about the parents and their background and their behavior in the at home, you would also know the child properly. So knowing the child is also very important, right? So yeah. So ask about the parents' background and how the child is at home, building relationship with the parents to make them feel that their child is safe and in a very safe environment. Communicating to the parent at the end of the day regarding the child's day. An environment that includes active participation from parents and community strengthens the support system around the child. Yes. And last but not the least, when you're applying the strategies, whatever art activity or sensory activity or the way you are presenting yourself in front of the children, reflect on that and document it. Like, what went wrong and what could have what changes you would have made, and how would you improve that. And based on these reflections, you can develop a new plan. Like, you can develop a new strategy to handle them, or to a new strategy to make them feel secure and develop their neurons. And stay proactive and be ready to adjust your strategies to benefit the children. Always be proactive. So if you see something is going wrong, just correct it. Just be proactive and correct it. Remember, it's about learning through experiences. If something doesn't work, try a different approach and always have a backup plan. At times, it may be necessary to create an individualized plan to address specific learning needs. So, for example, a child is very hyperactive, or having have diagnosed with autism, or you can have, or maybe having a behavioral issue. Like, for example, say he or she is hitting or biting other friends. You can have an individualized plan for that child. Yep. So that is what I have. If you have any questions.
Am I audible?
Hello. Yes.
First of all, warm greetings to you.
Thank you. You too.
My first question is that from 0 to 5 years, is there any genetic development taking A? And B, is American curriculum is equal to Indian curriculum? as I have completed TESOL, TEFL, all certifications also regarding with respect to teaching.
Like the TESOL, like the teaching of English as other language or something like
Yes,
that,
yes,
right?
yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that is totally different. That is a different area that you're talking about. This I'm talking about the early childhood education here. TESOL is, I think, totally a different area. It's teaching the adults, like for like teaching English to the adults who are from other countries, other language background. Hello?
Yes, ma'am,
Did I
is
answer your
there
question, or
yes, yes,
did I
yes,
answer
yes.
your question?
Spot on. You are spot on. My
Uh,
question is that
did you have
0
any
to
question
5,
about, yeah,
sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was talking about from 0 to 5 years. Does genetic factors role play
Genetic factors as in like what are you talking about?
in terms of intellect?
Uh, so as I talked about, say neuroscience and education, like I attended Dr. Vaibhavi Pandya's workshop in neuroscience and education. The brain is have like the brain is building the connections. If you are stimulating, if you as teachers are stimulating and giving more information, the brain is going through that process of assimilation and accommodation, and building more and more neurons, like more and more connection between the neurons. So I believe that according to that research, um, I think the intellect is depending upon the stimulation that the child is given.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for the answer.
Yes, the forum is open for questions. All the students who have any doubts regarding whatever has been discussed today, if you want further insights, please go ahead and ask. We can go ahead with 2 or 3 more questions.
Very good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Yeah, ma'am, according to the Piaget's model, you said that a child can take in words and readapt to it, right? But again, there has been a mention that they cannot take in the words like no and stop for 3 years. So is it that that model doesn't work for negative words?
I haven't researched about that, but that's a very good question. But I feel that like maybe I feel that the child is not able to categorize no anywhere, like no or stop in their schemas. Like they cannot have a schema for that. So
Okay.
that might be the reason. I'm not sure about it, but I haven't like researched into that. But um I have read that they cannot take in no or stop, but connecting with Piaget's model, I haven't researched about that.
Okay. But ma'am, if we
Yeah.
have to use some positive words for to stop them from
Hmm.
doing something, for example,
Uh,
I have a
you
daughter.
can you yeah,
Yeah, I have a
yeah,
daughter
go
of
ahead.
this similar age, and this at this age, everyone they are very curious and they jump into every hazardous places. So to stop
Mhm.
that, or to say no, or
Yeah.
to find a word replacing that,
Okay.
is
So
there?
we can take her out from that situation first and then
Yeah.
talk to them that how it is dangerous, give reasons to them. They always need reasons. Like if you give reasons to that child, the child might understand that okay, this is a very unsafe thing to do or very hazardous. You can just fall. You can give them consequences that what would happen next if you do this, what's going to happen. So instead of saying no or stop, you can just say you take out the child from that situation. So for example, even if there's like situations happen in the daycare also, like lot of meltdowns. Sometimes they have meltdowns. So we just take the child out of that situation, like maybe to a different corner or different room, and talk to the child, or say maybe out of the classroom. It can be out of the classroom also, but they should feel safe. It's not that like you're taking out of the classroom, by punishing them or something, but you are just taking out of that situation where the meltdown is happening, and they will be all calm. Like I have experienced that, like uh the child is having like very bad meltdown, and like during nap time they're just hitting and kicking and all. We just take her out of the situation and then talk to them, and let the child have the space. Like
Okay.
just give the child some space. When they calm down, you can talk about it. So
Yeah.
that's a strategy you can apply. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yes, anyone else? We can have one or two more questions.
Isha, even I had a question.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a good session, especially for our students who are still, I mean, yet to know about the age groups and how they need to be catered to. I just had a question where you said that, you need to acknowledge their feelings. So they get hurt. It is important that we talk with them saying that, oh, you got hurt, and that helps them, that the feelings are acknowledged.
Mhm.
Does this work with the later years of the child as well? Or since this is the foundation year, it is important because I've seen Indian parenting, a lot of times people say that, you don't have to acknowledge, ignore, so that they build up their, I think,
Emotions, yes.
so what is the right way of dealing with them? And even the later stages, say after the foundational stage, is it important to acknowledge, or how does it go?
Yes, definitely. This gives an opportunity for them to express, because they are learning how to express their feelings. If we are giving words to them, and we are giving the acknowledgement to them that, okay, this is what you're feeling, they would express. The next step is to express. So they would express that they're hurt, or they're sad, or they're happy, or they're excited. So even after the foundational age, they will express, and they will not hold on to it. So it's a very good thing to do it in the foundational state, so that they are feeling safe to express it out, rather than with holding it and then having more repercussions like depression and anxiety and whatnot. Yeah. I can't hear you.
Yeah, thank you for that answer. I think, yeah, so you said that if you're able to acknowledge, they'll be able to express, and expression is something that we are looking forward to from the students. I had one more, I was referring to this NEP 2020, and it was talking about disturbed childhoods and, some children who get neglected in their formative years of their life. And because of which cognitive and emotional processing may be a little different from the regular child. As a teacher, how do we understand that there is some background with them, because they come to us, they're there for 3 hours probably in a day, because you are in a daycare, or probably 6 hours in a day. So how do we know that there is some baggage with him? If known, how do we treat them?
So for talking about my preschool daycare, we have forms, like we have registration forms, which gives an idea about their background, and like what they do, what employment they are in, or where do they live, or what family members are there, or here there are many cases of divorced parents, so we have like, and also if they are in custody or not of the child, because some parents are not even allowed to pick up their child. So that's also there in the emergency cards and everything. So we know the background in that way. And also when they are registered for the preschool, they have an interview with the directors. And not only that, but even as educators, you can know like what kind of background they are coming from when you're talking to them, like about the day or about their food habits, or say what the child is eating at home, how is the child eating at home, w- and all that, like all small things. Also we can know what's going on in the child's life, or in like how the parents are behaving with the child.
Right, yeah, thank you.
Yes, anyone else would like to ask a question?
Hello, Isha.
I see Valli ma'am there. Hello ma'am. How are
Hi.
you?
I'm good. I'm good. Congratulations. It was a quite elaborative and really useful session to the students. So this time I am
Thank
taking childhood and growing up. Like
you. Took
I
childhood and
had just
growing up
started
for
off with
me
it, and
also.
that's why they are
You
like.
you
I
you
feel
took
that
childhood
most
and
of the things
growing
that you have done, I see. I just have one question. Do
Yes,
you
ma'am.
notice any differences in the behavior of students in India and Canada? So you also have a school experience in, I think, GDS, Global
Yeah. GDS
Discovery,
and
as
Green
well as
Valley.
in Green Valley, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you feel that there is a difference in the way the age group which you are involved with, we were involved with here, and now that you're involved in there also, do you find any difference, or is the behavior almost same like what you find here?
Um,
At
I
least initial
feel that it is
stages in the
different.
beginning. Mm.
It is different. It is different. A little bit different, not much, but I would say it's because of the parenting, because of the initial years, because they're so free and confident here. And in India, I feel that the confidence level is a little bit because of the parenting style, sometimes it is restricted, that oh, this, you cannot do this, you cannot do that, or something like that. Because of that parenting style, I think the behavior is a bit suppressed, and like the kind of the emotions are a little bit suppressed. Here they are more confident, because and they are very independent also, because here they have, even the parents also, even if they are not in daycare, the parents are like building on encouraging independence and everything. Also the food habits, I would say the food habits also is different here. um I think in India, even I did the same thing. I used to feed my child with my hand, like even after 1 year of age, I used to feed him. But here, they just give it on the plate, and they can have their food by themselves using their hands. They can feel the food, they can touch the food, smell the food, everything with their senses. So that also brings a sensory experience to them. And that's how, because they are so free and they are so independent, their behavior also shows that. So there is a difference,
Right.
yes. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, so is
So
there
one
any-
more.
I have to. Hello,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yeah.
I have doubt of the routine, ma'am. You said that the routine start with the routine has lunch, and it ends till evening snack. So what is the timing of the
Yeah.
day over there and in
Okay.
India?
Timing over here and in India? Like,
Means that you also worked here. So what's the timing difference over here and over there?
see, first of all, they don't have nap time. I don't think India we have I've never been to a daycare in India, so I don't know.
Okay.
I have only been to a preschool which only has like say 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. and not after that. So sorry, 12 p.m., 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and not after that. So I don't know about the schedule of a daycare there, but this is how we follow the schedule. Do you want to know the the timings
Timing,
of
yes.
everything? Okay,
No, from
so
start
we
to
start
end.
at around 8. Yeah, so we start from 8 o'clock. So 8 to 8:45 or something, there's free play. And then 8:45 to 9 o'clock we have art and sensory. And then 9 o'clock to 9:15 if they have to go to bathrooms or anything that would take place. And 9:15 to 9:30 or 9:35 they have there's morning snack.
Perfect.
And then they have circle time till around 10, and then they go out 10 to 11. And then 11 o'clock they come in again, they have bathroom break and everything, and then they sit for lunch at 11:30. 11:30 to 12 they have lunch. 12 o'clock they nap. So for infant and toddlers they nap only for they nap for 3 hours. They have a nap time for 3 hours, but for 3 to 5 they have nap only for 2 hours. So they actually finish their lunch at 1, the 3 to 5, but the infant and toddlers they finish at 12. So the 12 o'clock they sleep, 12 to 3 they have nap time, then 3 o'clock they wake up and have snack, and then they're done at 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one more doubt I had, ma'am, that if our kid
Question.
Sridhar, from your side.
Hello sir, how are you?
Hello, Isha, how are you?
I'm good sir, how are you?
Fine. I'm also fine. It was a very good session. You talk a lot about this, and this is what we thought of to have a session on this elementary education so that once they join the school, they also have some idea about it. Isha, I just want to know about that. In India, usually we try to do a lot of things so that we can create a good positive environment in the school. Now, as you are trying to convince us that yes, you are trying to do so many things, it's a good thing. Uh, how can we, as a teacher educators or as a teacher, can build a very positive environment in the classroom? So, at your place, are you following some kind of checklist on regular basis, or it is depend on the teacher who take the responsibility how to take this classroom? So my question is, are you having some specific kind of things, checklist or something by which you are taking care of positive learning environment in the classroom?
Uh, no. So our like we have, say suppose we have say 12 kids in the infant toddler classroom. So we have three teachers. So because it is 1:4, right? So one is the lead teacher, and that teacher has infant toddler certification also. So but that's only in the infant toddler, but not in the preschool. Preschool just has an ECE. But it's not only about the lead teacher or anything, but yeah, like we don't have any checklist or anything about the positive behavior. But that's how I learned. Like I learned from my peers, I learned from my coworkers that how they treat, because they are taught like that. So I got my certification by evaluating my BEd degree and like BEd degree and my MA degree over here. That's how I got my certification. But the
Okay.
ones who have like got the certification here, they have studied all that. Like and like they have done practicum, like we have practicums, like we have teacher, what is that called? Training, the internship. Like we have internship in BEd program. They have practicums here. So they also go to different daycares and preschools to have practical sessions. And that's how they learn. So they also learned from that kind of environment. So I also learned from them how to have like a positive language and positive reinforcement. So, and it was easy for me because I have a child. So yeah, so I experiment those things on my child too.
Good, good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Isha. Yeah.
It's-
Thank you, sir. Do we have any other questions? We have one in the chat. I think that was answered.
Okay.
Okay, so if we do not have any more questions, I think we can wind up the session for today. Thank you so much, Isha ma'am, for sharing your valuable insights and practical tips on strengthening the development of infants, toddlers, and preschoolers. Your experiences and expertise have undoubtedly enlightened us. We are sure that everyone has learned something new today and valuable as well. So thank you so much once again for taking out time from your schedule and taking this session for our audience here. Thank you for all the faculty members, all the teachers and students who have joined. We shall now exit the Zoom meeting and wishing you all a very good day ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you,
Thank
Isha.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll be in touch.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, okay. Bye.
Bye.